Hi, welcome once again to our mobile application development. And from our previous video, we have already created a navigation page route between our about and registration. So this time, let's work on a login page, which once that we have routed this login page, our information of the username and password will going to pass on to the other screen. So it will going to be pretty much like this though. We're going to have a login page like this with email and password with some buttons and icons over there, and even the back buttons there will going to return back to our home page with a drawer. And whenever we click the login, we're going to another screen, which is the user details. So we're gonna be working with a couple of page here, the login dart and the user details. Right, so without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so this time I'm going to work with a new blank file, and let's name this one as a login.dart. Okay, so this one gonna be empty, so let me just make it a bit faster by just capturing this this import, and we'll just straight here in this one. Okay, of course we will going to work with a stateful widget for this one, and this will going to be st right l stf, I'm sorry, stateful widget. And let's name this one as a login page with capital L and capital P. Okay, so within this one we're going to just replace this constant placeholder, and probably we will just hang on to a scaffold widget. Right, so this will going to be our scaffold widget. And within this scaffold widget, let's bring out some background color on this one, and let's make this one as colors probably white. Okay, and we're going to be a clean background. And say for example, I will just go straight with our body here, and the body property widget will be having a container. Okay, so this container will going with this container widget will going to hold later our text field within the children. And this time let me just bring out some padding settings over here, property, so as we can control the we can set our edge inset. Probably all will set as 16 pixels, right? And now this time we're going to have our child here, so as we could work on with the column approach of our wireframe. So we're going to be working on the column. Okay, what is column spelling? Okay, column widget. Our column widget definitely contains later children, but perhaps later the main axis alignment will be there, but I can go straight from the children, so as we can carry on an array of widgets over here. And perhaps probably we could make some image later here, that this image, probably I haven't insert any image there. Probably we'll try an image which is linked to our URL pretty much. Maybe we haven't done this one quite often, so let's try to set it in the network, so as we can carry on a link later on over here. Right, we'll just make it an empty one and semicolon there. Alright, so perhaps we'll just have here not a semicolon, it has to be a comma. So later we will going to see some text fields here, so that we could have this username will be later set, but we'll just define this one as a controller. We'll just name this one as probably underscore email later, but this is will come as an error at the moment. And perhaps let's continue. Other property of this one is maybe we could add on some decoration on this one, and within our decoration we'll set some constant over here, so that we could have much more deeper input decoration over here of a widget. So we could have a label text from our widget, or from our text, from our form text field, and I'll just name this one as not a password, but other reader. It's an email, and let's make probably a border design here with the outline. This is quite common, the outline input border. We've been using this one for several video already, this widget. And let's just stop here with the comma, and probably within this text field later we will just put some spacer over here. So using a size box, we'll just fill a height here with a space like 20 pixel, right? So we'll see if this fit though. And let's add one more field. Maybe I will just copy this field, including the decoration, and we'll just paste it after the size box widget, but this time we will make this one as a password. Password. We're going to define this one later as an editing input later, but this will be also a password as our label text. And perhaps we could add on one more spacer here. Okay, which is also 20. And probably before we forgot this important property field, which is after the input decoration. I will going to add the password, so that it will not be seen while you're typing it. With property obscure text will be true, right? So this is typical boolean, so that we could not see our password while we're typing. And probably after the size box, we will add on another where is our, okay, probably another one here for the button, and some back, so that we could return back to the home page. Okay, so let's work after the size box. Say I will just make another button, which is very popular, elevated one, the elevated button widget, so that it will looks like that we could press it with later with an open argument at the moment here, with parenthesis and curly bracket. And we'll use a child icon. Of course, we're going to be using a child icon here, so we will come back to this one later. This on press, so I will use the child probably I'll be using a child as a text now. Maybe we'll not use, okay, we'll try to use a text text widget for now, and just make it simple. We'll not be using an icon. Okay, I will just label this one as login. Okay, login, and perhaps I'll put another text button if we want to go to another account. Oh, I mean, go back to the next to the home page. Right. So let me have a comma here. Probably another text button, but this will going to navigate back to our home page. So I'll just make again an empty argument here, and the child will going to be a text widget, and we'll just write it like back. Right, so later on we'll define that one over here. Right, so let's save this one, and okay, this will not be completed if we did not properly declare this email and underscore password within our login Dart page, and we will bring it over here in this state after the override or before the override within our login page. I will just set this one as a final text editing controller would be set as the other one is mail, which is also equal to text editing controller and semicolon. So I'll just copy this one and change the value of the variable to password over here. So password. Later we're going to pass on this data to another screen, and perhaps we will also, if we have time permits, of course, we will going to display whatever we have typed there. So for the meantime now, let's import this one in our main Dart. I'm going to import this login. Okay, login.dart, and somewhere in our login side drawer on our what do you call this one, on top property. Okay, this is login, no? So maybe I'll just carry on this code, and let bring me here the login page. So capital L, login page, it's over there. Right, we can test this one for a while. Let's see hot restart. Oh, I mean just a reload, hot reload, and let's see if our login is appearing. Okay, there you go, it's appears the moment, and of course we don't have any yet picture. Okay, by the way, we'll try to insert some pictures over here, and probably we can center also, or maybe we can do an alignment, main alignment within our padding. So let me go back to the login Dart, and later we will include some network picture there. So in our part of the column, right, we will going to apply some property here, which is commonly named as a main axis alignment. We will going to use this main axis alignment to be center. Okay, so let's see if this will come in the middle. Let's hot reload this one, and okay, for now it's not. Oh yeah, it's over there. At least it's coming in the middle. And basically we need also to include some network image here. Probably I will just use some network image icon. I might be using some icon, login icon we'll just capture the link, probably anything here, probably, or perhaps example this one. Right, I'll just copy, right click, copy the link here, and let's see if we could paste it over here. It's a vector picture. Okay, Control S, hot reload. So let's see if the picture now appears on our screen there. Alright, there you go. It's a bit bigger though. Yeah, we can still set some height over here. So let's say height. Oops, it has to be inside our image here, which is image network. Let's make it only a common height as 100 pixel, and the other one is width. Right, and we'll do it also 100. Control S. Okay, hot reload. So let's see how it looks. Okay, there you go now. So we will going to of course I can only click back here, so probably we can put some back here later, or now we can just click this one so that it will go back to our home page. Right, but for the meantime, now what we're going to do is we will enter some information here, as example some email and the password. When we click log in, another Dart page will coming in and display all the pages. Right, so probably we could go to a new blank one, and we will make this one as a detail.dart, and this detail.dart is later to be will pass on whatever we have entered in the user name and password, the text field, and we'll just display over there. But this time, this detail, we will just name this detail as detail as well. Okay, so no issue, we could just make this one as detail. So let's write the SFT stateful widget. I will just name this one as detail, and within this one we'll just make it faster a bit so that we could just see the title over here. I can just make this one as a scaffold widget, so that we could return to that one. And let's put the app bar here, just like our home page, and that app bar widget will include the title, just to say that we are seeing now the title, which is user details example. All right, so we'll just make it simple as for now. Say for example, we'll just make a leading one here. Just straight away we will just make a leading. This will allow me, right, here, yeah, leading, but this leading property will be an icon then. So we'll just use an icon button, and this icon button is later will be bring back to our home page, but we'll use an icon. And icons widget that maybe what is this, arrow back, basically arrow back. I can see, yeah, so arrow back, there you go. All right, so this time we are now showing up this one later, but what the purpose of this, so that if we click this one, our on press, we are navigating it back to our home page. So for this time, what we're going to write on that one is we're going to use the navigator. This is the navigator widget that will going to execute or pop up our context. So it's basically, our context is pretty much our home page, but it has to be semicolon. We can try this one out now. Say for example, we need a detail inside our login. We have to import that one over here, and say I will going to import the detail dart. And remember, whenever we are going to press the login button page over here, this is the login button over here on the on press, same thing also, we will going to invoke a navigator here. So we will going to write on a navigation pop context, but then this will going to be pushing up one navigator context, which is our detail function. That's why we have imported the detail. So I will start by writing the navigator as well. Still, navigator is needed here, but instead of a pop, this will gonna be a push push method there, along with the context there. So we're good with the context, but that context must be in a route. But what is that route? I will going to write over here a material page route. This will gonna be our widget, so that the material page route will going to set basically here in our builder. But once again, this builder later will going to be the context also, right? This is quite very common, build text context, and that context should return somewhere, but I need to use a curly bracket over here so as I can return this into the function or the state widget which just now we have imported, and it has to be semicolon, right? So we have only some extra termination here. Most likely we have some error here, so quite very obvious here. So let me check once again. So I'm terminating the material route here. It has to be comma. Okay, most likely it has to be comma. Oops. Okay, one has to be comma, and I think I need one more parenthesis which wasn't terminated properly, and there you go. I think I did a lot of extra. 1 minute. So it has not to be there, it's over here. Okay, let me just bring this up. This is the most difficult part of adding those terminations, like parentheses. Okay, has to be terminated over here, right? This has to be terminated, right? Because this is a part of, this is one extra. I'm good now, right? So there you go. So this time let's try to check this one. Let's say save it and have to reload. Let's see if we are now calling. Okay, let me go back over here. Example, I will log in, and if I type, of course this will nothing happen yet. If I click the log, right, the user details came out, right? There you go. If I came back to that one, it will go to the context, which is the next hierarchy of the breadcrumb, pretty much, right? So, but if I click the back, it will go back on the home page. I think I haven't done it yet, so I think I need to copy the detail pop context over here of our icon, and let's go to the login and bring it over here in the back, and we're good. We're finished. Just have to reload, and I just want to see if the back here is working now. If I click back, and there you go. See, login. Say for example I type over here, but it's not yet being working. We will just to pass the data upon login on this user details. That will be our next video. Alright, so thank you for now. We'll see you once again to our next video. Bye bye.